Hey, Nelson here, in this final video of this 4-part series. If you missed the previous videos, I'll put links in the description below. Be sure to check those out. In this 4th video, I wanted to discuss incorporation. And this is a method of applying control-release fertilizer in which the fertilizer is blended into the media prior to filling the containers with the media. There's several ways that this can be done, but the blending of the control-release fertilizer is usually done at the nursery with a front-end loader, or many times right at the soil blending facility. It can be incorporated right then and there. And as we discussed in the previous videos, there are advantages and disadvantages to the different methods of applying control-release fertilizer. And incorporation is no different. So let's go ahead and let's start with the advantages. If you're looking for a cost-efficient method to apply your control-release fertilizer, this may be the method that you want to use. The fact that the fertilizer can be incorporated at the media blending facility means that it won't have to be done at the nursery. And this will save you a lot of time and money. Also, as with subdressing, incorporation will provide better performance as opposed to top dressing your control-release fertilizer. And this is more than likely due to the fact that the fertilizer is exposed to higher, more consistent temperatures than when compared to top dressing. And lastly, as with the other methods of applying control-release fertilizer, with the exception of top dressing, it's a lot more difficult for your fertilizer to fall out of the container if that container tips over. Because the fertilizer is evenly distributed throughout the media, a lot of media would have to fall out of the container in order for you to lose a substantial amount of fertilizer. Now, with the good comes the bad. So let's go over some of the disadvantages of incorporation. One major disadvantage of incorporation is that it's tied to the potting schedule. If you're growing different plants and in different pot sizes, which most of you are, it can be difficult to find a rate that's proper for all of your crops. In most instances, this method is preferable for those that are doing big runs that you'll be able to go through the media very quickly. And that leads us to the next disadvantage, and that's that you'll have to go through your pile of media very quickly. The fact that the fertilizer is exposed to higher temperatures and moisture means that it'll start to release immediately, so try to go through the pile as quick as possible. And lastly, incorporation can lead to initial leaching when compared to the other methods of applying control-release fertilizer. Since the control-release fertilizer prills are dispersed throughout the container, especially when potting up, let's say, a liner to a 3-gallon, it can take a while for those roots to reach the bottom. So all the while that plant's receiving rainfall or irrigation, those nutrients are leaching out of the pot and never really get a chance to be utilized. That being said, in my opinion, that's a minor disadvantage when compared to the advantages that this method of applying control-release fertilizer can provide you with, especially if you're doing large runs or growing plants that require the same rate of fertilizer. Well, in this series, we've discovered the 4 different methods of applying control-release fertilizer, and I hope it's provided you with the information that you need to choose which method is best for your growing practices and your conditions. Thank you for watching my video, or hopefully videos, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you need any help, don't hesitate to contact myself or your local ICL Specialty Fertilizers Territory Manager. I look forward to seeing you in our next video.